Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Josh Boldman, and I am coming to you live from the DYM Midwest Division in Chicago, Illinois. We have got a day planned. Oh my goodness. And yes, Ryan Reed. What did he say? He said, that's today? Yeah, that's today. Get out of here, man. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We have all kinds of stuff planned. We are going to hear from Doug. We're going to hear from Josh. We're going to hear from some authors. It's going to be an incredible morning. We're going to give away some free stuff. We're going to have Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the chat. And we're going to get to them all at the end. But we are going to be showing off something very, very cool. But first, let me tell you how this is going to work. All right. So we don't do anything normal. And so we decided this shouldn't be normal either. We're going to run this with a rundown. So the basic gist is you can follow along with what we're going to be talking about. Each of these segments is going to be given a random timer that is going to show up in the top corner of the screen. And they're going to get anywhere from 5 whole minutes all the way down to 5 seconds. And they don't know how much time they're going to get ahead of time. And neither do I. So, let's see. We're going to be showing off a lot of cool stuff today. One of them is going to be the year 3 scope and sequence. And I know what you're doing. You're all squinting. You're trying to see really close. Is it there? Is it there? No, we're moving on. We're going to be giving away one of our best series from year 2. That is the Level Up series. Paul's Letter to the Ephesians, a 4-week series. Amazing. So you can get that for free, but only if you stick around to the end. And if you've ever used the Mega Park Day, we have Mega Park Day 2 that you are going to be given as well. But am I giving away now? No, you get that at the end. That's how it works. Be a 2 marshmallow kid. All right, so back here. Oh, did you screenshot it, Tony Miles? Come on, dude. Okay. We will be throughout showing off questions and saying hey to friends like Kevin Oliver. Kevin, how's it going, man? It's so good to see you. But I think we should we just get started? Maybe we should just get started. So what you see on the rundown over there is we're going to start off with a quick word from Mari Trapp. Are you ready for this, Mari? Gosh, I hope she's ready. All right, so there's a lot of moving parts today. So if anything goes wrong, we're going to blame it on society. All right, so here we go, Mari Trapp. Hey, everybody, I want to introduce you to Mari Trapp. How's it going, Mari? Oh,
That's
sorry.
the clock?
It was random. I don't... That could not have gone better. Okay. All right, so if you just tuned in and you're like, what the heck was that? Like we said, the rundown is its own monster. I don't know. It's random. Every segment, and wow, and you know what? We actually called it a quick word from Mari Trapp. I didn't. So you can get anywhere from 5 minutes all the way down to 5 seconds, and it appears that on that one, Mari got 8 seconds. So hopefully, in a minute, you're going to see where it says the vision of Coleader. We're going to be hearing from my good friend, the guy who indeed wrote the book. Doug Fields is going to be talking about why Coleader started, how it started, what the whole idea of it is in the first place. Hopefully he gets more than 8 seconds. But also this week, we got a chance to talk to a bunch of actual Coleader users. And so in between each session here, or a segment, you're going to see just a little bit from an interview I did with them. And so first, we are going to hear from my good friend Abby Gold, who is in Memphis, Tennessee, and then none other than Douglas Montgomery Fields. Here we go.
I think Coleader, what has set Coleader apart for us is I'm a big advocate and our ministry is a big advocate of that there is no junior Holy Spirit. And I think that like the same Holy Spirit that is in, I'm middle school, but the same Holy Spirit that's in with the high schoolers and the college kids and in our main sanctuary, like is the same Holy Spirit that is upstairs in our loft. And I think that Coleader takes that so seriously.
Hey, Doug Fields. Oh, hey, look, you got the full 5 minutes. This actually worked out perfectly, Doug. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Great. Thanks for making this happen, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, Josh Boldman, who is the co-leader, wouldn't be happening without him. So thank you, Josh, for all you do in serving wonderful people like Abby. That was so great to hear what she's doing and how she's using it in her ministry. Who'd have thought they'd have high schoolers teaching junior hires with our curriculum? But
so cool.
That's what I love about youth workers. They're ingenious. They always come up with ways to make things better.
Yeah. So speaking of making things better, all right, you did this whole thing a few years ago where you guys started DYM, but there was a point where you said you wanted to do a curriculum. You wanted to make youth ministry curriculum available. Why? Like what was it behind the whole idea? What made you guys do it?
It's pretty simple, is that the thousands of youth workers who helped create DYM, 12, 13 years ago, whenever Josh and I started this, they have been sending in their stuff. And it's so, decades ago, 30 years ago, everything we did was what I created or Josh created. And we said, people do better stuff than us. And so really, for a decade, we proved that point, that the other youth workers have great ideas and DYM now has thousands of products. And, we didn't even really think we were going to get into curriculum because there's other people that are doing a great job with curriculum.
For sure.
But kind of the DYM faithful was like, hey, we think you should do it. We like your voice. We like your theological persuasion, whatever it was. They just basically talked us into it. And we finally had a team, to be honest, that can crush, like when you joined us. Like, we have a team that we're just built for this. We're all youth workers. Everybody understands the teenage mindset. They all know youth workers and what youth workers need. So it was just the perfect timing to make this happen. And it's amazing that we're launching, our third year already.
So cool.
Seems like we just started last week. But anyway, we want youth workers to look like a pro. And we started it also because, if I'm honest, a lot of curriculum doesn't move towards action. And that's always been kind of one of my things that I get, Jesus told us to obey, to do, and to not just be hearers of the word, but doers only. So we want people like Abby and other youth workers to look like a pro. So we said, hey, every week is going to, we're going to have 5 components. One is going to capture. We want to capture kids' attention. We don't believe that kids just sit down and lend their attention to us. As youth workers, we have to capture their attention. Then we go from capture to scripture. What scripture are we looking at? Then what are the insights from that scripture? Then we move to action. So now what do we do with that? And then, we end with discussion and we talk about it. And so that shows up in all 5 of those show up in every week. And I'm excited about that. And plus, we do we give manuscript, outline, graphics, video bumper, like on our platform that makes it so easy. Sidekick is one of my favorites, where you just press one button and it all shows up for you. We have done so much to help youth workers win because that's been the philosophy of DYM.
That's awesome.
Josh and I, when we started DYM, we can't disciple other kids. We can't just, help parents. We can't, train those volunteers, but we can equip youth workers like Abby with more time. So Co-Leader saves youth workers 10 hours a week.
Easily.
Gives them 10 hours to spend with the things that are most important.
And those 10 hours are super valuable, which does beg the question. Okay, we've seen it every time we look at any other curriculum. Co-Leader is always the cheapest. And I just have a question for it. Why? And is it going to stay that way?
Yeah, it's going to stay that way.
Cool.
Because that's how DYM started. DYM started just like, we're going to make it cheap. We're going to make it easy. We're going to help youth workers win. We're going to make them look good. So, DYM is known for its, being excellent, practical, and inexpensive.
Nice. Okay, so the price is going to stay the same this year, just like it was last year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You've got 41 seconds left. Let me ask you, you've got year 3 coming up. We're going to unveil the scope and sequence at the end, but I want to know, what is your favorite series from the year 3 scope and sequence that we're about to reveal? What do you got?
Oh, they're great. They're all great. That's like asking me a favorite child.
I know.
I love the one we did in Judges on U-turn. Kind of ideas. There's, no student is to the point of where they're so far gone that they can't turn back to God. I just love that message anyway. But I love Co-Leader. I love that it works. I love that it's inexpensive. It won't always be. Everything has gone up in price, but at least in this year, it's going to continue to be.
And proof that this is going to happen, he's going to cut.
but to be honest with you, Coleader was way more affordable. And one of the things I love about Coleader is we're supporting other youth pastors. Like, this is content created by youth pastors for youth pastors, and some of the other curriculums, you know, it's good stuff, it's great, but this one you can really tell was made by people who are in the trenches. No, they're not just sitting back writing curriculum, they're people who are doing it every day.
Hey! Oh, this is really good. Okay, so Donna and Rob, two of my absolute favorite people. One of the things that Mark was just talking about, right, was people who are in the trenches that are doing the thing, that are helping us get this ready. You guys lucked out. We got over about 4 minutes here. So Donna, we'll start with you. Donna Hupp is one of our authors. And Donna, you actually have worked on one of the series that we'll be releasing for Q1 in year 3. You want to go ahead and just tell everybody which one that is real quick?
Yeah, it's U-Turn. It's a study on the Book of Judges, and we just go through about 4 weeks, and I really enjoyed writing it.
That's very, very cool. Actually, I don't know if you heard what Doug just said just a second ago. He actually said that that U-Turn is his favorite series of all of year 3. So one,
Thank you.
good job, because it's stellar. My question for you, Donna, though, is so as you're writing, you know, I think a lot of us have a lot of experience writing for our own groups, but what we ask of our co-leader authors is to write for a incredibly diverse group of youth groups from not just around the country, but around the world and in different denominations and all different settings. How does that work for you as you sit down to put pen to paper or as you start typing? Like, what's that? What goes through your mind in that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I first start out with prayer because I figure the Holy Spirit's going to help me with that. But I also think that there's something universal about teenagers. They all want to make a difference, and they want to have a purpose, and they just want to know what their identity is in Christ. So that was helpful with this series.
Oh, that's so good, so good. And seriously, Donna, I cannot wait. Like I know we release these things every quarter. I wish we could just give it to everybody like right now, but it is phenomenal. I'm really, really looking forward for people to be able to use this with their groups. And this is Rob Chagdes. All right, so Rob has worked on a number of our Tough Talks from year 2, but what we actually are super grateful for is Rob is one of our editors, and his job is to help take the manuscripts that our authors send in and help make them even more accessible to the groups that are going to be using them. So Rob, tell us a little bit just about that process and what do you want people to know about how that all works?
Yeah, we look at it from the point of view of people in all different contexts, right? We've got urban, we've got rural, we've got volunteer leaders, we've got people of all different ages. We want anyone to be able to pick up these messages and be able to speak them to your group with really minimal modifications. But you can make as many as you want, right? So we look at the illustrations and stuff like that and say, can this be used for anyone? And then the other thing is to make sure that the actions are as practical and actionable immediately as possible.
So good. Because yeah, I mean, it's really easy for us to write a story that starts out with, when I was 7, I had a friend named Bob, and my friend named Bob said this very specific thing. But one of the things that Rob does is he helps make sure that those stories are tellable, or even if they need to be changed a little bit, maybe even giving notes of like, hey, tell this type of a story from your own life. Hey, Rob, quick question. You've seen a bunch of year 3 already. Which one is your favorite so far?
Definitely Into the Deep End, right? It's about spiritual disciplines, and we always aim for those actions to be practical, but what's great here is that there are clear habits that are so tangible that if students put them into practice, it's literally going to change their life.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that people all like over and over and over again have told us about Co-Leader that they love is that the action steps, right? Is it something that their students can say, yes, I can do that. Or even next week be able to look back and say, yes, I have done that. And super, super cool. So, hey, you guys, we got about 18 seconds left and then literally it's just going to all disappear. So I am curious, Donna, anything else you want to say to our year 3 subscribers that are looking forward to seeing what's coming in year 3?
I just think it's exciting. I love the fact that we get to write things that are good for our group and for them.
But what I love about Co-Leader is that if a certain series isn't fitting into what we're wanting to accomplish in our ministry, there's other options because you can swap it out for something different. And then I just think, that what you've got in the curriculum, so you've got bumper videos, you've got parent connection stuff, you've got the games and all that kind of stuff that helps you to kind of customize what you want to do in your programming. So you can take and use what you want. Hey, maybe it's just they've got a cool graphic and you want to write your own material to it, you can do that. And then just using the Co-Leader platform of being able to write your own series, and then it's in your library right there and you can upload stuff. I think it's just, there's nothing out there that compares to what Co-Leader allows you to do.
Okay, sorry that didn't work. Oh, Mari, I am...
2 seconds? What am I supposed to do?
Not...
Yeah, Co-Leader is unique in that it's not just a dictated, here's what you're doing every single week, but there's a lot of flexibility within it. It's got all of these awesome series that are created by youth people who know the youth world and know teenagers really well, and that you get to pick and choose what topics are good for your group. Whatever it is that your students are walking through, there's probably a Co-Leader teaching or curriculum or series that goes along with what your students are walking through.
Josh Griffin, dude, how are you? Co-founder of DYM, co-founder of Co-Leader, and I'm telling you, it's some people are already calling out whether or not this is random or not, but you got almost a full 5 minutes. I'm not sure why.
Here's what I want you to know. I got 2 things. One, I mean, this is very live, so anything can happen. But why do we do these things on Thursday morning? Like I had youth group last night, and now I'm up at the crack of dawn here on the West Coast. Not okay. So anyhow, no, I have the luxury of time. So I think I might just sip my coffee and enjoy. Here's the deal. Co-Leader Year 3, we could not be more excited about what is coming up. There are incredible series, amazing teaching, awesome events, all that stuff. And we'll get into all that in a little bit, I'm sure. Maybe Mari in one of her little segments.
she should cover it at some point.
Yeah, that feels right. She's got it. But here's what I want you to know. Co-Leader not only has the teaching series, which is the highlight, it's the star. You heard from some of our authors and that, that's great. But the grind of the weekly program is taken care of for you as well. That's the magic of Co-Leader. When you're like, what are we going to do this week? Well, what if every series came with a countdown video for each week? What if every series came with a game for each week that maybe ties into the lesson all magically as well, better than most people program? And so what if everything just tied together seamlessly and magically, and it was all included? Now that is the magic. So
absolutely amazing.
Series is heroes. We love you, but it comes with everything for your whole youth night done.
So Josh, does that mean that if somebody uses Co-Leader, they have to use everything? Like they're locked in?
That's a good question. You don't have to use everything,
right?
But why would you not? I mean, it's kind of unbelievable how much value. Like you could go to Download Youth Ministry and pick and choose and build your own stuff, which I've done for years and love still. But honestly, Co-Leader just says, let me put this perfect thing with this perfect thing. Let me give you an order, a flow, like basically like a planning center built into the curriculum tool where you can see the service order. You know exactly what's next. You could print it off, hand it to your volunteers, look like a hero. I mean, it's kind of magical that it not only includes everything, but it includes the order flow and make sure that you're ready to go. Beyond that, this is where it gets really crazy.
Did you just pull a wait? There's more? Is that what you did?
Wait.
Yeah.
What if you're like, I just don't want to download everything and assemble it and then have to present it, and I got to be at the church in order to do that? What if I told you that the Co-Leader series for year 3, actually year 2 and year 1 as well, are already pre-built in a presentation tool that's included with Co-Leader? So not only you don't have to assemble anything, and not only is it all included, it's ready to go. And if you do need to make some edits, make edits at home while you're watching the ball game or whatever it is you do for fun. And then it will sync with the church computer and you will magically be ready to go.
Incredible.
I mean, honestly, we're talking about the future of youth ministry and we're already on year 3. And if you're not in Coleader, get on board. You're a little bit behind.
I wouldn't like normally take up time with this one, but it's super random. But I can't get this out of my head. Does anyone think that Josh Boldman used to be the lead singer of the Newsboys?
I thought it. When I
okay,
wrote,
just
that could be the late night Wednesday night junior high mess that I was dealing with last night. But when I got on,
like,
I thought you were going to talk.
This might be it.
You were going to sing us a song.
All right. So one of the things we hear, Josh, over and over is that people are like, co-leader is worth it for the blank alone. And so it's for the lesson, for the social media, for the graphics.
Yep.
What is it? What like for you? Like, what is one thing that you want to be like? If there's anything, this is the money.
Easy. Here's the deal. In my youth service, there's always a moment like after the music and with the games and all that stuff where we want to transition a signal to the audience that says things are changing. And we call it a bumper video. And every teaching series in Coleader, I only have 10 seconds, I gotta hurry, includes a bumper video, and they're all premium, so awesome.
You want to see some? You want to see some?
Yeah,
you want to see them right now?
Go.
Let's go! And those bumpers are sweet. Want to check back in?
So good. Come on.
I am.
On the actual writing side, the next steps or the like action steps in Coleader are the best part for me. Like they're always super practical and they're action oriented as opposed to like more philosophical or like thought oriented. And so it really helps because I like being able to think about like, okay, can I or a small group leader ask the students like, hey, did you do that thing we talked about? Did you do that next week?
Oh, man. Wow. Oh, Jess Sanchez, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited. This is the best day ever.
Now, some of you may recognize Jess from the National Day of Volunteer Training, which is coming up again. It's a yearly thing, so it's pretty easy to always be like, you remember from last? Well, it's coming up soon. But Jess is an integral part of our team at Coleader and DYM. She is one of the people that we love to be able to run stuff past to be like, does this work? Does this make sense? Is this helpful? And so one of the things that I really wanted Jess to be able to speak into today was just, the benefits of Coleader. Because like, a lot of times we talk about how like it's the action steps that are so great for the students. But Coleader, what we found over the last 2 years is actually not just helpful to just the students, it's to the ministry as a whole and to the youth worker. And so Jess, I'm just curious, like, when you think of the benefit of using Coleader for the youth worker or for the ministry, like, what comes to mind? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, part of my work with youth workers is I'm a spiritual director. And so I'm meeting with youth workers all the time to check in on their spiritual health. And the number one thing that I'm hearing is I have too much to do. I don't even have time to spend with God. And so the number one thing that I am so excited about that Coleader offers is the ability for a youth worker to actually be able to do what they have to do, right? That discipling, being with students, what ultimately they are passionate about doing, and then be able to rely on Coleader, lean on Coleader to do the stuff that they're not great at, to do the stuff that maybe drains them, that kind of sucks the life out of them. Like I can think about stuff in my own ministry. I don't actually love putting together a whole lesson and write curriculum, but I'm deeply passionate about small group discussion, about building conversation for students. I love that. That's what I'm good at. But if I'm trying to kind of put everything together from start to finish, I will burn out so quickly. And I almost have multiple times. And so I love the fact that Coleader provides, just as Josh was saying a few minutes ago, like the entire comprehensive program, everything is right there. where you get to step in and kind of influence the parts that you're good and passionate about. And then co-leader does the rest of the heavy lifting for you. You can trust that it's doctrinally sound, it's clear, it has great actionable steps for your students. And then that then bleeds into not only is the youth worker healthy because they were able to do what was most important and what they're best at and most passionate about, but then I feel like I actually have this piece of advice somebody once gave me. It was great leaders surround themselves with people whose strengths are their weaknesses.
Oh, that's so
and that's
good.
kind of how I see co-leader is co-leader has those strong parts that I'm weak at in so many areas. And so to be able to kind of delegate to co-leader, like, I really need to put together a parent event and I'm not great at that. Parents intimidate me. That was like part of my story for a long time as a young
Straight
youth
up.
worker. Is there are parent events in co-leader. That is the strong part of co-leader that I can lean on and not feel the pressure to be great at it myself. So not only do I benefit as a youth worker from just having that like deep exhale of I don't have to be good at everything and I don't have to do everything, but I can then have an incredible program that is awesome. My ministry doesn't have to suffer because I'm not great at everything, is essentially co-leader.
Totally. Oh, it's so good. For me, it was always events. I was not great at events. Co-leader comes in clutch. But the hardest thing I think is honestly admitting that there is something that that we're not all like super, super good at. And for me,
it's such a relief to be able to say that.
It's also keeping track of time is something that I'm not super great at.
Well, one, it's affordable. Like it's not ridiculously expensive to where, you know, I'm in what I would consider like a medium-sized church that it's even affordable, like in our budget. But for me, it's the lessons. Like at the end of the day, like I just love the content that comes out of it. And that's where I find the most value because they're just so applicable, but also so easily available to be tweaked and made better for my personal context. But like I said earlier, I mean, it includes everything too, but like for me particularly, it's the lessons, it's the teaching concepts, the scriptures and all of that comes out that just gives it the best value for me.
All right. Okay. Mari, you're here. Hi. Okay. Oh, you're muted. I forgot.
It's just not going well for me today, I guess.
It's just going to be one of those. Mari, you will notice there is no timer at the top on this one.
Know.
Yeah, because this is what happened. Is Mike Hammer said this. He said, I was going to buy co-leader, but when Mari had a chance to speak, even multiple chances, she just didn't sell me on it.
That hurts. That really hurts.
Oh, that makes just everything
Sorry, Mike.
worth it today. That was.
I only had 4 seconds.
Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so hey, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to talk scope and sequence. We're going to talk Q&A. So here's what we're gonna do right now: is if you have a question, be sure to throw it in the chat while Mari and I are going over the year 3 scope and sequence. And then we'll run through a few of them, and then we'll give you guys some free stuff. Does that sound good?
Let's
do it.
Yeah,
all right, let's do it. All right. Okay. So year 3 scope and sequence. Again, you can squint look really close, or we can just show you. Here's what fall looks like right here. We got 4 series that are coming up in the fall. I love these. 2 of these are the ones that
Dude,
even
Messed
everyone...
Up looks so good.
I love it. The for me, it's the tape. Because have you ever pulled off the roll of tape and then it gets bunched up and you still try to use it? It's no good. But something that we have gotten a request for is just to keep diving into the spiritual disciplines. If you remember in year 1, there was a series called Habits. It was a 6-week series.
That was good.
This is like a follow-up to that. It's going to be 4 weeks on diving into the deep end. And then Donna Hupp talked about the series she worked on called U-Turn, which is a look through the book of Judges. And then my favorite, just hands down, are the Tough Talks.
They're so good.
Love the Tough Talks. So this one is going to be on where is God when I'm feeling overwhelmed? What do we do?
Which all your students are dealing with.
Yeah. Show me a 7th grader and I will show you someone who is overwhelmed. Period. Right? Like that's just how it goes. And so knowing that God is always with them, super, super important. Q2 coming up. Wired.
Oh my gosh. Wired is so amazing. And we've said this in the chat, but Travis Prouty is just a mastermind with graphics, and he takes time to do all of these graphics from scratch.
It's
so
not
it's
fair.
pretty incredible.
Yeah,
it really.
What I really love about the Wired series is going to be about spiritual gifts. Is we're actually going to have a digital and a printable spiritual gifts inventory that students can take. And the best way that we figured to do it is we're going to actually make it in the form of like a BuzzFeed quiz. That's like which Disney princess are you? And so they'll be able to scan it on their phone and go through, and they'll be like, oh, I am Merida, aren't I? And then, but you also have the spiritual gift of administration. So
is that her gift?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Then chaotic Christmas. I don't think I've been on the planet for a number of years now, and Christmas has never not been chaotic. So we're just gonna look at how crazy and wild it was back then, and then what that means for us now. Sacred timeline. There is a bigger story that we are working on here that is not just what is Jesus doing in my life today, but it's a part of something that has spanned all the way from the beginning of history and will continue to be written. And then we have another tough talk that is going to be...
What does the Bible say about diversity?
Oh!
Which is an awesome topic.
Okay, so when they're called tough talks, it's because really and truly, the big thing is it's what it says at the bottom there. Difficult topics demand answers. And if you have been talking with students for any given period of time, you know that they have questions and they want answers. And so we wanted to give everyone the ability to have these tougher conversations that might not quite work in a 4-week series, but you know what? We can tackle it head on in a 1 week, and we can at least start the conversation for our students. Very, very cool. Then into the spring, we've got our February series. I cannot wait for this. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Mari, what is that about?
What? That's the one you're saying?
It's very obvious what it is. So yeah. So the deal is it's 3-week series, and each week we're gonna go through sex. We're gonna look at drugs and what it means to what you are allowing to influence yourself and how you can be an influence on others. And then rock and roll, just what does it look like to interact with culture?
So not actually rock and roll. Like you're not against rock and roll.
No. No.
And then Influencer, which is a 2-week series, and it allows students to discover authentic leadership and how to be everyday examples. They encounter influencers every single day if they're on social media. What does it mean to be an influencer at your schools and in your friend groups? This would be an awesome series for that.
Very good. Then Hyped is leading up to Easter. We'll be looking at the life of John the Baptist as someone who paved the way for Jesus. And then into Easter, the series that I think, man, this one, honestly, like I feel like this captures it, like it's done. It's what has Jesus accomplished already. And I cannot wait for that series. Then we are going to roll right into
summer.
I love it. Oh man, so good.
Oh man.
Did you read the Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were growing up at all?
I did have them in our classroom. I remember reading one.
I remember like opening it, and then you'd have to make a choice, and you'd go to another page, but you'd always leave your fingers in the book to like try and go back because you met like inevitably you would die, or like the story would just end like after 2 pages. It was like, what? Wait, hold on, let me go back. But this idea of going through the book of Proverbs and realizing that so many of the choices that we make on a daily basis are what will determine how our lives unfold. And so we're looking at that through the lens of the book of Proverbs. Then we've got like, follow, and subscribe, talking about online identity and online safety. This is where you're going to score some parent points, like right here. Like if you can hey, maybe don't post that. Hey, maybe don't say that. Maybe it's not as anonymous as you think it is. I'm just saying, throwing it out there.
And boundaries, important.
Yes. Very. Then we're gonna round it out with a walk through the book of Philippians, and then one more tough talk that is on This is the last one. I feel like we should it's like, nah, all right, we're going to tell you. Is it okay to doubt? Is that all right? Because I think growing up, I remember kind of feeling like if there were times where I had questions that might have meant that I wasn't 100% all in, that if I asked those questions, I felt like I would be in trouble, or like I wouldn't fit in, or that wasn't a place where I could do that. And it's just not the way it works.
Every student has doubt, and it's important for us to create an environment where they can have those doubts and ask those questions, and we can walk them through those doubts. We had them too. We know what it's like.
That's because that's the whole thing. Is I always remember thinking that the adult leaders in our youth group didn't have those doubts and like didn't ever run into those questions, and that just I don't know that ended up doing a lot of good for me.
And now we're the adult leaders, and it's important that we show that we also have those doubts and that it's safe for them to have them too. So
for sure. All right, so we are going to give you a QR code in just a few minutes that's gonna get you so you can download the entire scope and sequence. You can tear it apart. You can look through it all, figure out which ones are going to be the ones that you want to go to. But I want to jump in some of these comments and questions. The very first one is from our own Michelle Anderson, who asked, "Who are the newsboys?" Michelle, go away. Okay. I do want to say, Mari, people were fighting for you. Rachel started an entire hashtag of "Give Mari Trapp a chance."
Listen, I had speeches prepared.
So
I was going to change the world, and I got forced. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Do you want to say, let's see, we've gotten, this is really cool. Kevin Oliver. He had said, I went part-time this past year, and Co-Leader has completely been the win for us.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, and we've heard that from a similar story from so many people about being able to rely on their volunteers more, be able to give, especially not just like, hey, here's what I need you to teach this week. It's you like giving people the content weeks and or months ahead and saying like, hey, I need you to read this and understand it, but make it your own and tell your own stories. And super, super cool.
And it allows you to have a night off and know that your leaders have the program flow. They have every file that they need, and they know what they're teaching and what's coming up next too. It's just, it's a win.
Yeah, totally. We did get a couple suggestions that you know what? This is one of those things where when people suggest a thing that you almost want to just like not even acknowledge it because but then it's like it was a really good idea. So then it's like, wait, do we have to commit to doing it? Well, we're not like committing to doing it, but we're gonna just say it. Chris says would love to see Canva integrated slides. You're not wrong, Chris. But that's a lot of, but at the same time, no, we get it. Yeah, we want to make sure that the content that we're providing is as accessible as possible. So you know what? We'll throw it on the list of things for us all to talk about after the win.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at team meeting.
Yeah, that's good. Kind of on the same thing. Alex is saying, I would love to see Google Docs as an option for downloading the sermons. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's fair to assume that not everyone has the same word processing suite that their grandparents used. And so that is fair.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah. Oh man. And let's see. Okay. I'm sorry. There's so many comments. I'm just trying to, let's see. Here's a question. Andrew asked, do credits ever expire? Yes, they do. But they expire 1 year after they're purchased. So here's what we always tell people is, if you've purchased credits, use them, because once, after a year, the credits would expire, but anything you've used your credits on stays in your account forever. So
even if you're not a subscriber anymore, like what you bought, that's yours forever in your account.
Sean says Co-Leader is coming clutch for us at specific times of the year. Now he didn't tell us which specific times of the year that was. But it's very specific. It was very specific times of the year.
All the time.
Sean, that's awesome, dude. That is so good. Todd Peerage says that Co-Leader is the biggest reason I sometimes wish I was still a youth pastor. I love the placement of the word "sometimes" in there, Todd. It's like not always. This is great. Let's see. Mike says, if we have questions and ideas, what's the best direction to go with those? And don't say the garbage. No, that's really great. We love, honestly, like one of the best things about Coleader from the very, very beginning is that our users have helped shape it. As far as like what you need and what you don't need. Like we don't want to give you guys something that you don't need. And we don't want you at the end of using a series to be like, oh, that would have been great if. We need to know those things. So you can always reach out to support@coleader.co. And I know that sounds like, okay, remember, we are not this massive corporation. Like, it's not like you're like writing to like support and you're like, oh, well, their whole support department, is gonna, no one's gonna read. No, we read
it's one person.
all of it. It's one person. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have written into support Coleader, I'm just going to shout out to Michelle, who's our incredible support person. She's amazing. You've probably talked to her. Mm-hmm. And when there's a suggestion, she actually posts it right away for us to see.
Yep.
And we listen, guys. So we want to hear from you how we can make your lives easier with Coleader.
And a lot of times, like, I mean, if there's something that you're trying to figure out and you can't, or I mean, we will take the time to walk through it with you. Like, we want to make sure that what you are getting from us is the most helpful that it can be. For sure. Let's see. This is great. Okay. This is Mike again. He says, I'm a lead pastor and actually had an abrupt exit of our youth pastor. So I've stepped in to lead the youth ministry. Dude, you are a hero.
Wow.
First of all, like, because I know from experience that being the youth pastor is more difficult than being the senior pastor. So you took on the more difficult job and you're still doing the easier one at the same time. I really appreciate that. But Coleader and DYM have made it possible to sustain for me. Truly appreciative of it. Dude, that's amazing. And we appreciate you. Like, seriously, for your students, thank you. For not just saying like, it'll work itself out or we'll figure it out once we find somebody, but actually stepping in. That is super, super cool. You know what? Again, it would be easy if we only like put up the easy questions, but Kevin, I'm gonna answer it. Sidekick question. Can we get a preview slide or confidence monitor option added? No.
Good one.
No, this is something that we've heard a lot, and I wish I could take the next 45 minutes to explain to you the hours that have been explained to me over why this is apparently the most difficult thing in the world to add. But it is something that we've heard. Like, we absolutely do recognize that it would be super, super helpful. But it's not something that we have like on the roadmap right now. We're just trying to figure out how to, if it ever does make it to the roadmap, the question really is how to make it like feasible. Let's see. Mark says response times have always been very quick and super helpful. Yeah, that's right. Mark, did Michelle pay you to say that? No, that's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, and you know what? And I'm put this up here because of the Michelle part, but Josh is super accessible. Michelle is absolutely amazing helping you. Again, we're here for you. So when you reach out, you're getting the people that you think you're getting.
And let me just also lift up Josh Boldman, because he will take the time to meet with you on video to walk you through Coleader and how to use it, tips and tricks. Like, he makes his link to his schedule really accessible. So I'm going to go ahead and post that in the chat so you can book up.
That would be, oh no. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Rachel says, we found a mistake on a slide last night. Who do I need to contact? First of all, Michelle or Rachel, no, you didn't. That's impossible. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're human, and so a mistake on a slide is not surprising. Definitely send a message to support@coleader.co, and we will take care of it right away. That's a super,
and Travis actually posted in the chat his email, and he said that he would fix it right away. So
wow,
he is responsive.
Wow. Let's see. Okay, just to clear it up, Mark Ordus says, I just got your Venmo, Michelle. Thank you. Man, there's just so many. Like, let's see. All right.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Oh, that's the question.
Oh, great. All right. We lost some games that we could do with the Sidekick app that was once offered. The web-based Sidekick will not play, for example, feud games. We can find a way to use the old games that worked with the app. Sorry, I'm trying to read it before it disappears. And the web-based, yes. Okay, so the answer to that is yes. There are two different Sidekick apps. One is Sidekick Legacy, which is the app that is built for Mac OS and Windows. And then we have Sidekick Beta, which is the new one that runs in the Chrome browser. If you are a subscriber, just reach out to support and we can send you a link to be able to download the original, the Legacy app, and that'll still run like the survey says. It'll still run the leaderboard, boxes. There are a couple of things, and we are always in process of working on bringing some of those features into the beta, but beta software is basically, okay, just throw this out there. Beta software, when we say that it's Sidekick Beta, that means that we are building it and asking people to use it as we build it. And so, yeah, it's not always going to have every single one of the features. And every once in a while, you might run into a bug. Maybe once every once in a while. So when you do, please let us know, because that's the best way for us to know something that needs attention is when you run into something.
And I want to add to that question. If you're talking about games that you purchased in the past that you're not seeing, email us at support@downloadyouthministry.com and we can help you gain access to those so you can download them onto your computer and use them with Legacy.
Lots of Sidekick questions. Can you make an easy way to duplicate an entire section of message slides on Sidekick? That is something that we are actually like. So like I said, we have this internal list of like, oh, okay, here's what we want to work on next. And that is actually very, very close to the top of that list because we know how important that is. Same for us. For all of us that use Sidekick in youth ministries as well. Like we're like, yeah, it would be great if it could do that. So yes, that is something we are definitely wanting to work on. Oh man. Do you have more? I'm trying to see. Yeah. Oh, Travis actually did post his email address in the chat. I didn't see that. Wow. Wow. I thought you were kidding. I was like, there's no way he did. He did. Yeah. Oh, this is not a question, but very cool. We at Bachelor Creek students absolutely love Coleader. We have a baby due in just a few days. Okay, JT. Congratulations. Congratulations on using Coleader is what I mean to say. But also congratulations on a baby. Babies are just about as cool as the annual curriculum provided by Coleader. But yeah, it helps make it easy to incorporate other leaders to lead. Super reassuring and helpful for me. That is so cool. Congratulations for reals.
Reals? You added the S at the end?
It's a Z. It just, I'm throwing it out there. It is absolutely a Z.
The 90s are back. Okay.
For Realsingtons. Yeah. Let's see. Travis, he says, well, it's not that hard to figure out his email address. Yeah, it's just Travis at Download. All right. Any other questions that you can think of, Mari? Any that you see? Anybody last minute want to throw one in before we show the QR code to be able to give away all the free stuff?
Why don't we give away the free stuff?
Free stuff. I like free stuff. All right, so here we go. It is right there. You can go and scan this QR code or go to bit.ly/Coleader Year 3 launch. I know it's backwards. I keep pointing the wrong way too. What you will get is you'll fill it out, your name and your email address, and you will get an email that has a link to Mega Park Day and Level Up, our 4-week series from Year 2 that was amazing. Mega Park Day is a full day that you plan at like a local park for you and your students. And then it'll also have a link to the Year 3 scope and sequence. Or you can just go to coleader.co. You can check out everything there. Like I said, the price does not go up this year. Coleader Premium Plus is $449 a year. I'm just going to say it. If you go and look at any other curriculum, you are going to see numbers starting with 9s or having 4 digits. Ours is $449 is the most expensive. Or you can do half a year at $299, which is insane. Just know that what we are committing to absolutely is to making sure that the best curriculum is the one that is the most accessible to you. And so we are going to keep that price low for as long as we possibly can. Hopefully a long time. Did you see how I hedged there? I was like,
Yep.
oh,
I
we're gonna.
was wondering,
Nope.
where are you gonna go with that?
I'm not committing. I'm not even gonna say it's gonna be that way for a long time. We're gonna keep it as low as we can for as long as we can.
And let me just say that at Coleader, we really just care about you. We want to be there. Our team we just make ourselves available for you. So not only are you purchasing curriculum, you're adding to your team. You're adding a graphics person to your team, a curriculum writer to your team, support people to your team. We're here to help you because we want you to be able to focus on what is important, and that's your students and your leaders.
Yep.
So that's what we're here for.
I have it from 5 different people, so I'm not going to put it up on the screen. We've got Todd Handell, Jack Janigian, Mark Ordus, Scott Tinman, and somebody else that I already lost said, or you can just go platinum. Yeah, you can. Go to dymmembership.com. If you go platinum, it includes all of Coleader and literally everything we offer at DYM. So it's like having a Gold Plus membership. It's like having a free ticket to a DYM 100 event, the in-person events that happen in October and November. It's the National Day of Volunteer Training. It's Youth Ministry University, and it is all $9.99. It is also cheaper than everything else out there. So there was a point where I think we realized, basically by offering platinum, we may as well just give you all the routing number and account number to the DYM checking account, and just be like, just take the money, just take it. It's fine.
What are we doing today? Just saying.
Just saying. Yeah. Chris Thomas says, in platinum, Josh Boldman will FaceTime in and teach the lesson for you. It's great. Well worth it. I'm not saying no. I'm also not saying yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, and Scott, reminding everybody that DYM is helping youth workers win. That's what we do. That's what we're about.
Yep, for sure. All right, Mari, anything else that you'd like to add?
I'm super excited for year 3. I know you've been working hard with the team to make it awesome. It looks fantastic. The graphics look great, but the content is just going to be even better. Yeah. I think it's our best one yet.
For sure. I would agree 100%. And just so you know, again, unlike most other curriculum companies, when we say we're launching year 3, year 2 and year 1 are still very much available. So if there's a series on the scope and sequence that you're like, I love this, but I just don't think that one will work, swap it out. Use something else. No worries. All good. You can check out everything that we have to offer at coleader.co. All right. On behalf of Doug Fields, Josh Griffin, Jessica Sanchez, and Michelle Anderson, and Travis Prouty, Mari Trapp, and myself, this has been really fun. Well, let's do this again. Not soon, but maybe next year. Does that work? I think that works. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you.